Welcome back, guys, to my Sunday series of kind of a top 10, kind of a Mount Rushmore, call it whatever you want. But how this works is I list 7 guys that could be on a Mount Rushmore of a certain specific WWE category. And then what I do is I list the 3 that absolutely must be on this Mount Rushmore. And then your job is to let me know who the 4th would be. So this is kind of a top 10 list with an ultimate top 3. So just enjoy the ride. So today's one is all about the 10 greatest wrestlers to never win a Royal Rumble. We're in the Rumble season, so you're going to get a lot of Rumble content, but I'm sure you guys are okay with it because the Rumble is the best event of the year. So I'm going to start with getting the obvious ones out of the way. Andre the Giant. So Andre the Giant, he was always the favorite whenever he entered any single match, especially a Royal Rumble, because the whole thing, how are you going to eliminate the Giant? So they had to do funny things like he eliminates himself because of Jake Snake and all of those kinds of things. But Andre the Giant, he's always been a favorite in every single match. And the fact that he never won a Royal Rumble is kind of criminal. But again, what do you do when he wins the Royal Rumble? He goes on to Mania and he just destroys everybody. Next, we have his kayfabe son. We've got the Big Show. But did Big Show win? Hashtag justice for Big Show. 2000, The Rock did not win. Big Show won. And I'm glad they made a storyline out of it. It led to not the greatest Mania match, but still, hashtag justice for Big Show. Big Show, it's the same entry as Andre the Giant. Always when he enters this kind of match, he's the favorite, but the favorites never win simply because they find a way that everybody gangs up or something along those lines, and it ends up eliminating them. Next, another obvious one, it's gotta be Kane. Now, the thing with Kane, in 2001, he was incredibly over. That Royal Rumble, the 2001 Royal Rumble, where he eliminated, I think it was 11 guys, was a record at the time. So that was the time where they could have pulled the trigger and he could have won the Rumble. But ultimately, we all have to just know that Stone Cold was just the absolute right choice for that day, simply because Stone Cold needed to go on to Mania. Because imagine Kane wins and we've got Mania X7 and it's Kane versus The Rock. Does that have the same ring as Austin Rock? I don't think so. But Kane, he should have sometime in his career won a Rumble. He is one of the MVPs of this event. Next, we've got, this is a fairly recent one, and he's still got a lot of time to win one. It's Gunther. So he's been in a couple of Rumbles, and the most memorable two is the last two, where he was in both absolute a destructive force, and I believe it was 2023, not this year's one where it was Cody Punk at the end, where it was Cody Gunther at the end. He was a man on a mission, and that last little stretch with him and Cody is probably the second best final stretch of any Rumble. The first one would obviously be Taker versus Shawn at WrestleMania, at Royal Rumble 2007. But Gunther, he's still got a lot of time on his hands, and I'm willing to bet sometime along in the future he will win a Rumble, unless he's always in the title picture, which he would never need to be in a Rumble. You guys get what I'm saying. Next, at number 7, we're just going to go to, number 6, we are going to go to, let's see, number 6 I've got here. Oh, Dean Ambrose, 6, 2016. Dean Ambrose. Now, does he still have time to come back to WWE? Probably. He's the only member of the Shield to not win a Royal Rumble. But then again, he's the only member of the Shield that actually left the company for another company, and he did great things in AEW, or is still doing great things. There is still time for him to come back. Will he ever win a Rumble? I highly, highly doubt it. But if there ever was a time, the 2016 Rumble where Roman Reigns defended his championship and he came in at number 1 and Triple H ended up winning it all, that was the moment where Dean Ambrose should absolutely have won that Royal Rumble. He was incredibly over with the crowd. He was the right choice, but it was just not to be. The next one, we have got Mr. Perfect. Similar situation to Ambrose. It's 1990. Mr. Perfect is incredible. Absolute in-ring wizard. Can pull a great match out of a broomstick, like Barry Saturn did with a mop. Anyway, what was I saying? Mr. Perfect, 1990 Royal Rumble. He absolutely should have won that Royal Rumble. I mean, not a doubt in my mind. But the Golden Goose had to win, so it had to be Hulk Hogan, and he had to win 2 in a row, where there was nothing on the line except for pride. But I think Mr. Perfect absolutely should have won the Rumble somewhere along the line. Now we're getting into serious, well, all of these guys are serious. And number 4, let's go with Daniel Bryan. Now, we've got the whole one where he was eliminated, and then immediately Goldust music comes up, and it's Shattered Dreams, and all of our dreams are shattered. Then we've got the 2014 Royal Rumble where Batista won, and Rey Mysterio, beloved, lovable, underdog Rey Mysterio got booed just because he came in at the number 30 because he wasn't Daniel Bryan. Yes, we got there in the end at Mania, but it shouldn't have been such a convoluted story. Daniel Bryan should have just been there from the beginning. Now at number 3, we have got the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Just one of... Now, I've been doing a lot of Rumble content lately, and people have been commenting, and they've been commenting pretty insightful things. If Kurt Angle did not leave for TNA, I'm willing to bet he would have won a Rumble somewhere between 2002 and 2010. Somewhere in that time period, he would have won a Rumble because he would have been right at the top of the card that entire time. So Kurt Angle is one of those stories of what could have been if he didn't leave very early in his career. Now, number 2, we are going to go to, again, he still has more time, and 2014 should have been it, but it is CM Punk. Some people believe 2024 should have been it, but it was ultimately Cody. Right decision because Punk got hurt. Cody went on to finish his story, blah, 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 blah. I do think that Punk has a very big chance of winning 2025 Rumble. This is obviously coming out before the Rumble. It's probably going to be Cena or The Rock, but I do think Punk, he's going to be in that mix for the final. I think the final 4 is going to be Cena, Rock, Punk, and Roman. That's my final 4. It's a lot of older guys, but I do think that is the final 4 that makes the most sense for future storylines if I were to be a booker in WWE, which I'm obviously not. And at number 1, it is Y2J Chris Jericho. This guy is one of, if not the MVP of Royal Rumbles. Now, he also left WWE for another company, but he did so fairly late in his career, so I think that there was so much time between 2000 and 2010 for him to win a Rumble. He was at these up to the storyline with Kevin Owens. He was always at the very, very top of his game. Now, he's very close to the top of the list for total time in Rumbles, total eliminations, all of those things. He's close to the top of everything in the Royal Rumble list, except for the one thing: never won a Royal Rumble. Who would be your 4th? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Peace.